how's it? And thank you for joining me for some more automotive shenanigans. Today, I'd like to introduce you to my long-term project. I've been working on it a lot lately, but I never really had a good starting point. But now that it's running and driving, I think this is that point. Anyway, this is Mr. Rattles, my 1981 Volkswagen Rabbit pickup truck. That's right, you heard right, it's a pickup truck. And anyway, I figured I'd like to take the time to tell you a little bit about this car, what it is, what it was, and what I hope it'll soon be. So let me start off with the first question that I always get with this thing, and that is, what is this? Well, this is a 1981 Volkswagen Rabbit pickup truck, or a Caddy, depending on who you're talking to or how cool you want to sound. And yes, it came this way from the factory. I did not put this bed on it. This is straight from the Volkswagen factory. You can even see on the tailgate, Volkswagen. And these trucks were made from 1979 to 1984, part of the first generation of Golfs, or Mark 1s. And the second question that I always get is, why? Why are you driving this? It's loud, it's a diesel, it's very rattly, and it doesn't make a lot of power. And the simple answer is, this is the perfect truck for me. I'm not a big guy, I don't move a lot of stuff. It's great to just enjoy that light 80s gas mileage. Easy gas mileage just because the car is light, and it's nice to be able to haul stuff. The car actually gets 52 miles to the gallon. And there's really no magic to that aside from the car is diesel, and the car basically weighs nothing. The car is 1,900 pounds, which is lighter than a first-gen Miata, which is something like 2,000 pounds. So, truck weighs less than a Miata. And next thing that people always get on me for is, that's not a real truck. Not a real truck, sorry. I guess you're right, it's front-wheel drive. It's a ute. But if you don't think this is a truck, I don't know what to tell you. Insurance tells me that it is a subcompact pickup truck. And I know some people don't like this thing because it's spitting in the face of truck kind. My ex was like that, thinking it can't do real work, but this truck can do real work. I don't think you could earn a paycheck out of this truck, but it's great for what I use it for, which is recreational. You know, you can put canoes, boats, all kinds of stuff on top of it. You can stick a ATV in the back. You can load it full of 3 people if you want and take it wherever. And all the while, you'll be getting 52 to the gallon. And it's just great. The perfect truck for me, which is why I've held it all these years. Now you'll probably want to know about those extensive mods that I mentioned. Well, basically this thing is swapped. The original engine was a 1.6 liter naturally aspirated diesel, and I even got this on a dyno. It made 45.5 horsepower and 101 foot-pounds of torque. It was dirt slow, and you could just about get it on the highway wide open throttle and do 65 if it was flat. So we did away with that motor, and right now it has a TDI engine from a 1998 Jetta, which is the AHU type engine. And here we go, there it is in all of its glory. And like I said, I just got this running pretty recently, so you'll have to forgive all the dirty laundry under the hood. I didn't really get a chance to route anything right. The ECU is in that trash bag because I couldn't get it tucked under the rain gutter like I wanted to. Anyway, this is a 1.9 turbo diesel, and it makes 90 horsepower. Not a lot, but hey, it's double stock. I also have a second gen Mark II Jetta radiator, just to have more radiator. The engine I had in previously overheated. I have an O2A transmission out of that same Jetta, and I have a VR6 Passat clutch, and that's basically like a, stage 1 clutch. I also have a O2J shift tower out of a Mark IV Jetta, and that, I don't know if you can see it, has had its linkage arms shortened and welded together as a sort of, quick and easy short shifter kit. Moving on to the inside, not too much here. I replaced the bench seat, or I replaced the 2 bucket seats with a bench seat. Originally it had the really nice but terribly uncomfortable Mark II Recaro seats, and they were just so low that you basically just had to, the easiest way to exit the car was to just stick your arms out and roll out and land on all fours. So I got this bench seat out of a, I believe it was a 98 Nissan Frontier. And that's really about all it is for the mods. It's all just been engine and a little bit of interior. The engine has taken quite a long time though. It has had a lot of motors in its life. So there we have it. Right now this car is the textbook definition of a Maui cruiser. And if you see on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, whatever, someone is selling a Maui cruiser, what they mean is it's a shit box. It's a be sure your friend that's doing the inspection is doing the inspection, because it won't pass otherwise kind of car. And you can just about rattle yourself and your gear down to the beach. And that's what this is now, a Maui cruiser. And I was hoping for something a little better than that. I wanted it to be the perfect beach car. Out here in New York it gets a little homesick, and so I like to climb up in my car and pretend that I'm driving to the beach. And so for that, I need the perfect beach car. And right now, it just isn't it. What's the point of having a perfect beach car if it's not all jacked up and can't bomb down cane roads? So that's what we're gonna do. We're going to make ourselves a gambler out of this thing. We're going to lift it and put some armor on it, and then we're gonna charge. Now, before anyone starts giving me a hard time, rare car, oh my god, how could you gamble this? This is a $500 car. I bought it for 500 bucks, blown motor, and it's not precious. I've already changed out all the original stuff that made it valuable. It can't really get much more bastardized than it is, and it's rusty. You got some rust here. Of course, it's got the shock tower rust. The floor pans are all rusty. We got rust here, rust there. So that's pretty much the first thing I gotta do. This is a unibody, so if I want to give it some abuse, I'm gonna have to fix all the holes in it. Shouldn't be much of a problem. Then we're going to lift it. You can lift these fronts about 3 inches with Passat springs, and lift the rear with just some more leaves. It's leaf springs in the back. And then we got to do something about this oil pan. The oil pan in these cars is extremely low. You can see it right there. It's actually not too bad for ground clearance. That's 1 shaka. So we got like 1 shaka 7 inches. It's like 8 inches of ground clearance. But when you scooch over back to this oil pan, that's like 4 or 5. That's low. But the thing is people like to take these trucks and make lowriders. So there's actually quite a lot of information on how to take this oil pan and suck its gut up. And from there, I was thinking I would make a skid plate of some kind. Right here where the control arm goes, we got a nice attachment point. And same as on the other side. And from there, you can just go to the front, make ourselves a skid plate. And hey, we got a lift, we got a skid plate. That's a gambler right there. Anyway, that's sort of a for next year project. I just figured I'd get out in front of all this and say, you know, what I've been working on and where I'm hoping to go with it. And if it sounds interesting from you, hey, stick around. I'm hoping to be posting a lot more of this car. And if you don't like it, well, I don't know, just tell me all about it. Either way, thanks for watching and have a good one.